From revealing ideas for Rocky VII to expressing his distaste over the franchise's rights, Sylvester Stallone wasn't really happy with the latest edition of Rocky, and that's the reason it was canceled. Wait, what? There was supposed to be a Rocky VII and it was canceled?
And then to have a couple of young filmmakers, 27 years old, come in and find new life in the movie.
Why are we hearing about it just now? Can someone put up Eye of the Tiger so we can really get in the mood? Well, yes, a lot has happened with the Rocky franchise that wasn't what the fans wanted. When Rocky came out, it completely changed the way Hollywood portrayed the underdog.
Nefarious, in my opinion, so like horrible, because everyone made out well.
I mean, Rocky is the ultimate underdog movie, and nothing comes close to it. There was a reason why Rocky resonated with the fans, and that was Stallone's outstanding portrayal of a working-class man, with the world against him, in fact, even his own luck against him.
In this generation, everything's just changed. So a young filmmaker came to me and said, I have this idea of Apollo Creed had an illegitimate son.
Rocky ended up not only a career-defining moment for Sylvester, but it also imprinted as a forever pop culture phenomenon. There's no reference to the dark horse of any sports movie without the iconic training montages and the music. The struggling character is what attracted the audience.
See George Lucas and the producer, and I can tell instantly, you know, when no one likes you. They look like this.
And it skyrocketed Sylvester to ultimate fame. The actor could never have imagined that Rocky would turn into a 6-part successful franchise. Stallone would go on to play the character for 3 decades, until he reprised his role for a spin-off movie. The actor originally had ideas for a 7th installment, but they were shelved.
I even said it to Scorsese. So finally, at 76 years old, I go, now it's time. You know.
Now, Stallone has shared excerpts of the never-made Rocky VII, and I'm just wondering, why the hell wasn't it greenlit? As a matter of fact, the fans only got to know about it through an Instagram post that Stallone shared. The actor shared Rocky artist John Rivley's artwork that showed Rocky in his signature pose and phrase.
You cannot take on half the world with a knife. It just doesn't work. Yeah.
It read, "It ain't over till it's over," and beside the poster, Stallone shared a thread of handwritten notes. These seem to be the various ideas the actor had for the sequel. He shared a few ideas for what seemed like a scene for the never-made movie. It showed Rocky Balboa as a retired boxer who's having an imagined conversation about a potential future.
And you have to do with reckless abandon, but your timing was perfect, so.
And is lost in deep emotional thought as he thinks about his wife. Then there's another excerpt in which Rocky goes to a club to witness a fighter known as Chucho the Mutt in the ring. The scene hints at the fact that Sylvester was readying Rocky to take on the mentor role as he did in Creed. But if he did that in Creed,
you pay your dues. I felt the same way in Rocky, like and Rocky Balboa. You do what you have to do. I did the right thing.
Why is he sharing those ideas now? Did the actor want his mentor role to be in another direction, but he never got that? Well, we do get the answer in his next post, in which he specifically addresses the sadness he felt over Rocky VII never coming to fruition. Explaining his post, the actor states that the excerpts he shared were supposed to be the screenplay for Rocky VII, but unfortunately, his baby didn't see the light of day because of certain individuals. So he wanted to share the ideas for the die-hard Rocky fans. Stallone elaborated on his vision in another post.
You want to just be remembered as this main character. And then as I got older, I said, what a privilege to be able to do this. And then to be able to carry on for so long.
Making it clear to the fans that the vision for the story to move on was pretty solid. He explained that Rocky VII was meant to bring Rocky back in the fighting spirits, but this time for the neighborhood that made him. The actor wanted the sequel to carry on the same passion and sense of loyalty that the character had throughout the franchise. But everyone knows the falling out Sylvester had in terms of creativity for the franchise with producer Irwin Winkler. It turns out that Sylvester doesn't have the rights to the character he created, and he blames it on Winkler. In a mind-boggling interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the actor explained how he was snubbed. As someone who was simply passionate about his work,
you can't make peace. I mean, let's be realistic here. You can't make peace when someone has been so nefarious, in my opinion, so like horrible.
Stallone didn't understand at the time that this was all business. He commented that many people he thought were close to him prevented him from attaining whatever rights he had at that time. The actor didn't think that the franchise would be a pop culture phenomenon even after 45 years. And he's sort of devastated over not having a single ounce of control over the product he so dearly created. He wanted Rocky to be his legacy, but now people who literally did nothing for the franchise control it. And you've got to feel a little for Stallone here.
Well, the idea is that The reason I didn't want to write it because there's a whole new generation. 40 years has passed, and what worked in my generation doesn't exactly work.
It must have hurt to have something you created from the ground up taken away like that, but it's impressive how he managed to keep the Rocky spirit alive. Sylvester Stallone returned to the franchise in the form of a mentor for his best friend's son. The Creed series saw Rocky in the same old style, but that only lasted for the first 2 parts. Creed 3 would be the first movie in the franchise without its original character. Stallone will reportedly be absent from Creed 3, which has led to a lot of speculation.
Kind of an odd thing. Harrison Ford before he did Star Wars, I had just finished Rocky, and
will this be the end of the franchise or another opportunity to expand in a different direction? Sylvester reportedly separated himself from the threequel because he didn't like the direction it was going in. On the other hand, Creed 3 will also be Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. So yeah, the movie is definitely receiving some attention, and there will be a lot of critique too.
I kept saying to Al Pacino, say, come on, spread the wealth. De Niro, spread the wealth. And they kept getting, I know, I said, how much more do I have to do?
But sharing his views about not returning for the threequel, the veteran actor said that he's kind of a sentimentalist and that he had a different vision for Rocky. While he does wish the current franchise all the luck, he likes his heroes getting beat up and not end up in a dark place. The guy is definitely super attached to his character, and there's a solid reason why. How can people not expect Sylvester to react the way he did when the guy created the script for the movie in just 3 days?
he got the money because I wanted him to really shut up. Giving me such a migraine, guys. You know?
Sylvester Stallone is a Hollywood icon. As long as the world survives, people will know the names Rocky and Rambo. The actor was successful in giving some of the most memorable characters to the audience of all time, but what he did as Rocky was nothing short of a miracle for his career. Before he starred in the 1976 hit flick, Stallone was a nobody. People wouldn't even cast him as an Italian extra. But everything changed when he wrote Rocky's screenplay after getting inspired by the legendary fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Something sort of clicked in his head, and he wrote the screenplay for one of the most beloved movie franchise. And did you know the actor only had $106 to his name before Rocky? Man, I can't believe it. Imagine having nothing but inspiration in your pockets. And it makes for such a good story too, as he not only created the standard for the underdog,
Rocky's just pushing him forward. Of course, the ref would break that up, but and then cheap shot, boom.
but he was one himself. Stallone could relate to the character on so many levels as he was struggling himself. Rocky was made on a mere budget of $4.83 million, but the movie made over $1 billion in gross revenue. Movies like that weren't well perceived by critics at the time, but Rocky made history on every ground. It was both a commercial and critical success, which even landed multiple Oscars. Rocky and Stallone became a staple in the sports genre. People cited Rocky as one of the greatest sports movie ever made. The Rocky franchise is the ultimate vision of the great American dream.
I think it's about betrayal. You draw into certain situations in your life where you're...
So it's not hard to imagine that Sylvester felt a sort of ownership of the franchise. It's his character, and as explained in an interview, the actor wanted it to be something special that he left for his family. So that's everything to know about the Rocky VII movie that never saw the light of day.